Rahman Rahim. I'm Dr. Mohibullah Wazir. We discuss the nerve supply of the intestine. For this, please, I will give 2-3 lectures and you please study all them. Your concept will be clear once for all. Look, the intestine, the GIT start from esophagus and end at the anal canal. Note, the upper end of the GIT, that is the esophagus, and the lower end of the GIT, that is anal canal. These two have different nerve supply from the rest. The upper end of esophagus is supplied by somatic nerve, and the lower end of the GIT, that is the distal part of the anal canal, is supplied by the somatic nerve. Because of this reason, number one, the upper end is voluntary, so that the upper end of the esophagus you can contract voluntarily, while in the lower end, the lower end of the anal canal and the anal sphincter, that is under voluntary control. The rest of the GIT, it is not under voluntary control. Second point, that the food when passes at the upper end of the esophagus, one note it, but as soon as the blood passes below into the stomach and duodenum, then we do not know where is the food. Now it is time. But as soon as the food reaches to the rectum and anal canal, then again the information is, because over here there is the nerve supply is somatic. That's why again the individual comes to know that the food has reached down and the defecation reflex is being felt. The rest of the GIT from mid esophagus to the rectum, all the GIT is supplied by autonomic nervous system and having the different plexuses. And these, for example, you see the esophageal plexus, the celiac plexus, renal plexus, mesenteric plexus, right and left hypogastric plexuses, and also the orbex and medullary plexuses. All these plexuses I will explain each one separately, but all these plexuses are autonomic in function, and these are being made up of parasympathetic and sympathetic. And this parasympathetic, so all the plexuses that supplies the GIT, it is being made up of sympathetic and parasympathetic. In this lecture, I will give you the general summary of the innervation of the GIT. Note, the parasympathetic is motor and secretomotor, that is, it increases the motility of the intestine by contracting the smooth muscles, and it increases the secretion from the glands of the GIT, from all the glands. But at the same time, it is inhibitory for the smooth muscles of the sphincters of the GIT. For example, the pyloric sphincter, the ileocecal vein, that is also smooth muscle, but for that the parasympathetic is inhibitory, that is, it relaxes or open, while for the smooth muscle of the viscera of, for example, the stomach and the intestine, it is motor and increases secretions, and at the same time it is also inhibitory for the smooth muscles of the blood vessel of the GIT, that is, the motility is increased, the secretion of the blood is increased, and the blood supply is increased, while the smooth muscle of the sphincter is being inhibited, that is relaxed. While the sympathetic is number one, it is motor only for the smooth muscles of the sphincter, and it is motor for the smooth muscle of the blood vessel, that it is vasoconstrictor for the blood vessels of the intestine and blood vessels of the skin as well, and it is motor for the sphincters, that is pyloric sphincter, and then while it relaxes the smooth muscles of the viscera, and then also the pain of the abdominal viscera, that is the stomach, intestine, etc., that is being taken by the sympathetic. It is said also afferent fiber is apparent in the parasympathetic, but mainly it is said that the sensory supply is by the sympathetic. But note the point that the receptor which are present in the GIT, it is chemo, baro and osmoreceptors, and these receptors will not be stimulated by stimuli, for example the touch and temperature, no, but it is being stimulated by stretch and ischemia, that is lack of blood supply. And one point, so that is the pain of the viscera is being taken by sympathetic, and the pain nerve endings are sensitive not to the touch and temperature but sensitive to the stretch and distension, etc., and then the lack of blood supply. And secondly, the pain of the viscera, because it is the sympathetic, the autonomic, not the somatic, that is not very specific. For example, a pin prick to the skin, the patient will tell you it is being pricked over here. But the pain of the intestine is very vague. The patient cannot localize, because they say that the pain nerve endings are very widespread and it is not sensitive to pain, touch and temperature. But it is the doctor that by examination then localize the pain, that it is the pain of stomach or something else. Later on, if the parietal peritoneum is involved, for example in acute appendicitis, later on the parietal peritoneum is involved, because the parietal peritoneum is being supplied by somatic, then the pain is being localized to right iliac fossa. This is about the sensory and motor supply and sympathetic and parasympathetic supply of the GIT. Then the individual plexuses I will all describe in the next lectures. Thank you very much.